Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Mary from Decatur Public Library, and we're so happy to have you with us this summer for our Tales and Tales program. We're going to have lots of books about animals. Boys and girls, we're going to be reading some books today with the permission of Simon & Schuster Publishers. We have a book called Strictly No Elephants by Lisa Mancheff, and we have another book also published by Simon & Schuster, called This Is My Room, No Tigers Allowed, by Jennifer Richard Jacobson. And I think you're going to like them both, and I really appreciate Simon & Schuster letting us read their books online. Boys and girls, we're also going to draw a picture. So before we get started, if you want to get a piece of paper and a pencil or a crayon, it won't take long for us to draw our picture, but you'll be ready. You also may want to get a couple of sticks together for one of the songs we're going to sing. All right, first thing we're going to do is read Strictly No Elephants. I like the little boy's elephant scarf, don't you? He has a pretty red scarf to match the little boy. The trouble with having a tiny elephant for a pet is that you never quite fit in. Don't you think most boys and girls have a cat or a dog or maybe a little pet bird or a goldfish for a pet? No one else has an elephant. See, here's a goldfish and a cat and a bird, and even two dogs in this window and one dog here. But he has his pet elephant. Every day I take my elephant for a walk. His is a very thoughtful sort of walk. That is a nice elephant to hold the umbrella. He doesn't like the cracks in the sidewalk much. I always go back and help him over. That's what friends do, lift each other over the cracks. Today I'm walking my tiny elephant to number 17. It's Pet Club Day, and everyone will be there. Come along, there's a good boy. I coax him the last few feet. It'll be fine. When I look up, there's a sign on the door. Ooh. Oh no, the sign says Strictly No Elephants, and there's even an X drawn through a picture of an elephant. That's not very nice, is it? Just because the elephant is different doesn't mean he can't come. My tiny elephant leads me back to the sidewalk, never minding the cracks. That's what friends do, brave the scary things for you. Poor little boy and poor little elephant walking along, so sad because they couldn't go to the pet club. Did you try to go to the pet club meeting too? The girl asked. Yes, I say, but they don't allow elephants. The sign didn't mention skunks, the girl says, but they don't want us to play with them either. They don't know any better, I tell her. He doesn't stink, the girl adds. No, he doesn't, I agree. What if we start our own club? Come along, I say, making certain that my tiny elephant follows me. Because that's what friends do. Never leave anyone behind. Oh, how nice. Look at all the other boys and girls who have unusual pets. We have a giraffe, a baby narwhal. We have an armadillo and a penguin, a bat, a porcupine, all kinds of different pets. We can play here, one of our new friends says. All of us. They all found a nice yard and a treehouse to have their club, didn't they? So we paint our own sign, and it says, Strictly no strangers, no spoil sports. But they exit out and write on, all are welcome. I like their attitudes, don't you? My tiny elephant will give you directions if you need them. Now they all have a place to play, because that's what friends do. And you know, sometimes other boys and girls may look different from you. I know someone who's in a wheelchair, and I wear glasses. But just because you don't wear glasses and you're not in a wheelchair doesn't mean you should leave other people out, does it? We can all be friends. Boys and girls, we're going to use our rhythm sticks now to sing a song, and it is from mymissnina.com. You may be familiar with Miss Nina's songs. She has some great ones. This one is called Willoughby Wallaby Woo, and in the song, we're going to actually use some names of some of the kids that have come to our story times before COVID hit and make them rhyme with other silly made-up words. Get your sticks ready, and let's not hit them too hard because we want to be able to hear ourselves sing, okay? Okay, let's get ready to sing. Willoughby Wallaby Woo, I don't know what to do. Willoughby Wallaby Wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby Wallaby Wash, I'm feeling kind of squashed. Willoughby Wallaby Woo, and I don't know what to do. Willoughby Wallaby Whaley, an elephant sat on Brayley. Willoughby Wallaby Wiver, an elephant sat on River. Willoughby Wallaby Wainer, an elephant sat on Rainer. Willoughby Wallaby Wook, an elephant sat on Luke. Willoughby Wallaby Wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby Wallaby Woo, an elephant sat on you. All right, let's read another song about animals, or another book. This is My Room, No Tigers Allowed. And as I said, it is published by Simon & Schuster, and we're so grateful to get to read this book. Tonight, I'm going to sleep in my very own room, in my very own bed, Jojo said. You'll be back, said Margaret. No, I won't, said Jojo. She skipped across the hall. Sometimes it's a little scary to decide to sleep in our own beds at night, isn't it? Jojo had just crawled under the covers, turned off the light, and stretched her toes from corner to corner in her very own bed when a lion slipped out from behind the window curtain. She could see the shadow of his mane on the wall. She could hear the tuft of his tail thump, thump, thumping against the baseboard. She sat up quick and turned on the light. The lion hid. Jojo ran into Margaret's room. Back so soon? Asked Margaret. I'm not back. It's just that there's a lion in my room. Well then, said Margaret, you need to make a sign. Margaret helped Jojo find paper, a yellow marker, and flowered duct tape. Put them away when you come back, said Margaret. I won't be back, thought Jojo. What do you think, boys and girls? You think Jojo's going to stay in her room with her imaginary lion? Jojo wrote, No lions allowed. She taped the sign above her bed, crawled under the covers, and waited. The lion, who no doubt read the sign, did not return. She did a good thing when she made the sign, right? But then, Jojo heard a bear. Its claws scratched across the floor. She thought she smelled meatballs on its breath. Ugh. She, ever so slowly, leaned over and clicked on her light. The bear hid. Jojo jumped out of bed and raced into Margaret's room. I see you're back again, Margaret said. Now it's a bear, said Jojo, who was not back. I need a brown marker. She found the marker, mustered her courage, and stomped loudly across the hall in case any bears were listening. Jojo stood on her bed and wrote, No bears allowed. The bear, having no doubt read the updated sign, did not return, but then, a tiger crawled out of her closet, tripping over her shoes. His nose twitched. He licked his lips. Jojo held her breath and once again clicked on her light. The tiger hid. "I just need an orange marker," said JoJo, sprinting into the room. She found it before Margaret could say anything about her being back. JoJo stood on her bed and wrote, "No tigers allowed." Now she's telling bears, tigers, and lions they can't come in her room. "There," she shouted. She wanted that tiger to know that in her room, she was the boss. But when JoJo turned off her light, the tiger slipped out from the closet again. JoJo slapped her hands over her eyes, and JoJo turned on the light. But this time, the tiger didn't bother to hide. She looked at the tiger. The tiger looked at her. JoJo thought of Margaret snug in her bed in their old room, which was tiger-free. But JoJo was not going back. She stood up on her bed, pointed to her sign, and shouted, "This is my room. Can't you read?" The tiger squinted at the sign. He shook his head back and forth, back and forth. He made a sad tiger face. JoJo paused. She pointed at the letters. "It says here, no tigers allowed." But the tiger padded closer and closer still. He reached out a paw. JoJo covered her eyes. "Is this my letter?" he asked. "Yes," said JoJo, peering out. "That's T for tiger." Tiger smiled. "What's this letter?" he said, pointing to N. "That's N for..." JoJo stopped. She sighed. I'll show you from the beginning. JoJo pulled out her very own alphabet book from her very own bookshelf and read to Tiger. But the moon was high in the sky. They only got to Tiger's G. The next day, JoJo changed the sign in her very own room above her very own bed. It read, "Readers allowed." She was glad she did. Now she has new friends to listen to her read, doesn't she? I like to have imaginary friends. I had some when I was a little girl. It's very fun, isn't it? Now we have a song, since there was a bear in our last book, about a bear. And this, well, it's actually a poem, and it's from Jayberry. I'm going to pat the table, but you can pat your knees. I'm going to look around. I'm going to sniff. I'm going to put my hand in my ear so I can hear. I'm going to shake my finger and then climb. Are you ready? A little brown bear went in search of some honey. Isn't it funny? A bear wanting honey? He sniffed at the breeze. He listened for some bees. And wouldn't you believe it? He even climbed trees. Now we are ready to try to draw a picture. And I am not a very good artist, but it's not very hard to draw an elephant if you just take a few simple steps. And I found a poem that's in the public domain by E.A. Belloc, and it is called The Elephant. And as I read you the poem, we're going to draw pieces of the elephant. We're going to start with his back and go down his tail and then draw his back legs. Are you ready? Here we go. When people call this beast to mind, they marvel more and more. At such a little tail behind, so large a trunk before. It does seem odd, doesn't it, that an elephant has a little bitty tiny tail, but such a gigantic trunk in the front. And you can make little lines on the trunk for little wrinkles in his skin, and you can give him a great big eye. And here's his tusk. Not very hard at all, is it? Okay, boys and girls, I hope you come into the library soon, because here at the library, we have a craft for you this week, and it is a giraffe that you can make at home. We had a giraffe in the pet club in our first book we read, didn't we? I hope you have a wonderful week, guys. Thanks for joining me.